So we're here with Alfred Tesseron from Château Pontet-Canet. Could you tell us a little bit about the story of Château Pontet-Canet?
Pontet-Canet is a chateau which is owned by families for a long time, because my father had the great idea to buy Château Pontet-Canet in 1975, and then before it was owned by the Cruz family for 130 some years, and then previously to the Cruz another family called the family Pontet, who gave their name to Domaine de Canet, which was already an existing vineyard. So it became Pontet-Canet. So it's been in families since then, and I hope my children and my niece, and it will remain a family business. It's important to my idea.
We're also here to taste the 2010 on Primeur. What do you have to say about the vintage 2010?
It's fantastic, you know, because in my life time as a vigneron, I thought vintage 2005 was the vintage. And then a few years later, 2009 arrived. And at that time, I say, you know, it's very close to 05, so it's almost embarrassing to say we have another great vintage. And now, just 1 year later, this is the glass I have, and I am extremely proud of this wine. And we will see, because now people are coming from the world to taste. Whatever I say, I am the father, you know, of my wine. You have children, you know what it is. But people will taste, and the truth is always in the glass. So it's not for me to say it's too soon yet.
Right. It's inevitable that people will compare vintage 2009 to this vintage 2010. What do you see the difference between the two vintages?
I think the first thing, what you say is it is the truth, because what people will do, I think, in the future for many, many years, maybe our grandchildren will do the same, is open a bottle of 09, open a bottle of 010, and for many years they will say, is it 09, is it 010? I don't know. Personally, I like 010 today has a little bit more acidity, who makes it probably a wine even little touch more elegant and more imbalanced than 09. But you know, it's hard to say, but it's really a great pleasure to have such a vintage in our hands today.
We also seen the horses working the vineyards here at Château Pontet-Canet, and you also have a certification from this vintage as a biodynamic farmer. Can you tell us a little bit about the work in the vineyard according to biodynamics?
Organic first, you know, to become in biodynamic you have to be organic. So this we have been working for many years, and now we have been approved biodynamic, which is one step further. And it's what it did to us is really made us closer to our vines. We have to be always ahead, not behind, you know. If we are sick, it's too late. We have to prepare things and be close to our vineyard. And I think that's the real benefit of our work here. And Jean-Michel Combe, which is my right hand, really I have to say thank you to him, because if we are in biodynamic is because he's giving all his time. We have no Sunday, no such you know, weekends, long weekends. We have plenty in France. No, he's with his vineyard, and he's very close to it. And at Pontet-Canet we are sure that wine is made in what we have here. The winery, we need to have a winery, of course, but it's accessory, let's say. And so we are proud. And the horses is just one step more. It's for the future, because today it makes people laugh a little bit, but we have done 24 hectares, which is real. You know, you don't do 24 hectares like this. It represents 30% of Pontet-Canet. And the idea is to avoid the soil to be compact and to have the roots do their job, because the roots is the start of the life of a vine. And if the roots do well their work, I believe it will be better for the grapes.
When did you start with the organic working in the vineyard?
The first time we spoke about it and did only a little bit was in 04. And the next year was 100%, because I decided that's small is too complicated, and let's really. And Jean-Michel, I asked him, are you comfortable? Can you do it? And I trust the man, and he said, let's go. So we did 100%, we did 100% in 06, and then in 07 we ran into bad weather, and we had mildew, and I got scared, and it's my fault, we went backward. And for that vintage, we had to start all over again, but immediately after the mildew pressure, we start back in biodynamic, and now we are certified with the 010 vintage. So it's been a long time, but the result is year after year, you know, the vineyards is more strong, and I think it's possible to do organic and biodynamic in Bordeaux with such a big estate, because I think today, on this 2010, it shows. It has a purity, it has a, you know, things which is really nice.
Coming back to the vintage 2010, people are sometimes talking about a Cabernet vintage or a Merlot vintage. Do you see 2010 having any preference in grape varieties?
No, every property has different soil, and the soil demand the cepage or Cabernets or Merlot, but on a great vintage, I think it's all over, and that's the difference between a good vintage and a great vintage. A great vintage is everybody is enjoying it, and I think 2010, I hear so far that it's good all around Bordeaux, or very good. We'll see.
Thank you very much.